What's going on? What's going on? asked for it.
Get this over with.
They have gotten farther than I calculated. They are very resourceful, but they shall go no farther. Deploy the guard droids. Raise the force fields. We will trap them within the ship. Activate the mines. Let us see how far they get now.
Let's go. We'll be back shortly.
Good to go.
Looks like someone's been busy. This is a droid control center, but on a huge scale. It could control thousands of droids on Nar Shadda and elsewhere.
I suggest you surrender. Your chances for escaping this vessel are near zero, and your chances of survival are rapidly approaching that number. Your ship and your lives are mine. The only question is how much resources you want me to expend in subduing you.
Let's go. We'll be back shortly. We'll be back shortly. Let's go.
Let's move out.
More visitors. I don't know how many more of these pests I can disintegrate. What remains of the bounty hunters have found me. Now it is time to cue the detonation sequence.
Donos imaragith, wanara orachi drumka sa inchobin sasha, dosimana rachata. Taranamo sibu indasarans, crema sunkun ratungala, chawi mo jubu inkosoracha.
Mechana creme mopa. Tamasuna ramga ma chochane. Anta scream sochi. Norcha hereme chok windido.
Let me handle this. Take them down.
Let's take care of this fast. Let's move out.
Let me handle this.
I can't believe we just blew up Goto's yacht. That's gonna destabilize crime throughout this whole sector.
Yeah, well, you'll understand if I hold back the tears.
You don't understand. Crime in the YouTube system, it's like the economy. Plus the power vacuum. Even if Vogga gets up and running again, the system is going to be feeling the effects for years to come.
Yeah, well, at least we didn't find that Jedi Master with the weird name. Zez Kai, whatever it is.
Zez Kai Ell? Well, that's not true. I already found him. Actually, he found me first. He hired me to watch out for you, keep Goto off your back until he could meet with you. We'll need to head back to Nar Shadda, to that safe house off the docks. I said I'd meet up with him there if we ran into any trouble. What do you want now?
If you thought to escape my notice so easily, you would be wrong. As a token of my goodwill, I present to you a gift, this droid. It will serve you well on your journey. I'm afraid I do not understand what you mean. As I indicated, this unit will remain with you and guard you. It will also serve as an effective voice for my orders during your journey. I cannot harm you. You are the key to saving the Republic. Pray that you do not prove yourself otherwise.
So, you have returned from exile. Kavar thought you might, if only to wander your old battlegrounds. But I did not think you would come to Nar Shadda. Still, you were always a difficult one to read, both when you were tied to the Force, and even more when it was lost to you. I do not know. It was a sense he had, and he had served in war as you had. Perhaps he thought he understood you, or maybe he simply hoped he did. He felt you were the key to understanding the threat we face. The others were not so certain, but so many of them are gone now, as you no doubt know. He sensed some connection between you and many of the worlds touched by war. He thought by traveling to such places, he could achieve understanding. No doubt. I think the answers will provide us both with some measure of peace. I have kept secrets for far too long. They have scattered, but there is purpose in their movements. It is both to hunt and draw out our enemies. Somehow, we, are being targeted through the Force, and when Jedi gather, we are vulnerable. So we have chosen places where it is difficult to sense others through the Force, whether on planets dense with life, or touched by war. In such places, we may conceal ourselves, gather information, without presenting ourselves as targets. It was part of Kavar's plan. Yes, he felt if our enemy cannot detect us, then perhaps they would believe themselves victorious and show themselves. And we knew that the war would be lost if we continued to act as we had. I do not know where they wander now. There are few of us, though. Too few, and I have not heard from them in some time. Vrook still lives. I had not felt his presence for some time. Atris, but I had thought she had gone to Qatar with the others. Yes, she holds the last of the Jedi teachings. It is good she survived. What I can tell you, I will. It is a long story, but there is no harm in you knowing. And someone should know. Only a handful of us remained after the Jedi Civil War, barely 100 in number. Then, even that 100 began to vanish, in places where the Force seemed blind. The only pattern we determined is that when Jedi gathered, they were seen no more. At the last Jedi conclave on the Miraluka world of Qatar, the entire planet was wiped out, an entire race destroyed, because the Jedi chose to gather there. It was only then that we realized we were facing something far more powerful than we knew how to fight. We could not allow the fact that when we gathered, we placed everything around us at risk. A Jedi's life is sacrifice, but we cannot allow our presence or actions to endanger others. And we cannot fight an enemy that will not reveal itself. But any Jedi, anyone who is strong in the Force, who attempted to track down such a threat, vanished without a trace. It does, but you must step back to see it. Whatever this threat was, it was targeting us and everything around us. Yet it was somehow weak enough that it was afraid to confront us openly. If it believed us defeated, then perhaps it would finally show itself. It was a faint hope, but it was the best we had. It was Kavar's plan. He was always the greatest tactician among us, and had seen war more than the rest of us. Very well. We told you it was because you followed Revan to war, but you ask because you are not certain of that answer, nor were we. The day we cast you out, that is the moment I decided to leave the Order, because I do not believe we truly faced the reasons you were exiled, and if we do not examine such truths, then we are already lost. I think it was because we were afraid. It is a difficult thing to live one's life with the Force. To see a vision of what it would be like to be severed from it, it is more frightening than you know. Very well. I had thought perhaps that here upon the Smuggler's Moon, I might find some evidence of the threat we faced. The bounties on Jedi and their disappearance. I did not believe the two were connected, but there was a chance. And the strong currents of life here on Nar Shadda make perceiving a Force user difficult. I could use it to cloak my movements and watch without being discovered. Very well. Is that what you think? We did no such thing, but it is a technique that has been used as punishment in the past, yes. It is a rare sentence, and to my knowledge it has only been done once, at a moment where a Jedi discipline has failed. What caused your loss, I fear, was different. I am not certain I understand it. We did not understand it fully then, and only recently do I feel we may have become enlightened. The other masters may have more knowledge of this, but I do not, and I do not know if they even live. Does it matter? It seems your power has returned. Perhaps the loss was not a loss at all. Very well. Ah, so the records of your trial were found. Good. Sometimes I think this galaxy would be a better place if there were less Jedi secrets. But I have no answer for you, as much as I would like to give one. We vowed never to speak of it, and although I would not keep promises to Jedi, I keep promises I make to others. And Kavar was a friend. If we were gathered as one, then the promise might be revoked. Until then, I can say nothing. Very well. Yes, such bonds are a connection that can be formed at moments of crisis, or in the slow understanding that grows between master and apprentice. It is most common between two beings who are sensitive to the Force. It allows the transmission of feelings, of influence. It was something you were gifted with, as I recall, before your fall. You formed such attachments easier than most, even to those who could feel the Force only faintly. Even Vrook could not ignore it, which is saying something. That is most unusual and unnatural. I have never heard of a bond of such strength. There were a few within the Order who knew more than I did of such bonds, but their students were few, lost in the Mandalorian Wars. It was rumored that Revan studied such bonding deeply, both through the Jedi histories and with certain teachers, before he left the Order and went to war. Now I must take up the role I was ready to cast aside. This threat has finally revealed itself, and we Jedi will need to stand together. I did not speak fully of what I have felt. Staying on Nar Shadda, it is an exile of sorts, one that I have chosen. I, too, lost a Padawan on Malachor, not to the battle, but to the alternative, to the teachings that Revan brought from the unknown regions. And I was not the only Jedi Master to watch a student turn on them. No, they were not to blame, but many of the Order did so. It was a difficult time, a time of strong emotion. Perhaps the Council, perhaps the Order itself, had grown arrogant in their teachings. It is easy to cast blame, but it is perhaps time the Order accepted responsibility for their teachings and their arrogance, and come to recognize that perhaps we are flawed. Not once did I hear one of the Council claim responsibility for Revan, for Exar Kun, for Ulik, for Malak, or for you. Yet, you were the only one who came back from the wars to face our judgment. And rather than attempting to understand why you did what you did, we punished you instead. Our one chance to see where we had gone wrong, and we cast it aside. And now, that decision has come back to us and may carry with it our destruction. Perhaps there is something wrong in us, in our teachings, and though I tried, I could not cause that thought to leave me. So I left the Council. And I was not the only one. That is why many scattered, and why many in the Republic do not trust us, and why we do not trust ourselves. Make no mistake, I am no Jedi. This is the end, you see. After this, there will be nothing, and I think it will be for the best. Do you wish to do battle now? I have nothing more to say. It provides no comfort at all, for reasons in which I still must keep secret. Suffice to say, redemption was not Revan's choice, and I have never believed those of the Council who attempt to console themselves otherwise for the crime they committed. But we have spoken enough, I think, and words, I think, dull us both. Let us speak through the Force, through sparring. This Yen form should prove appropriate. Its best use is when you are outnumbered, which I fear suits our predicament perfectly. You will find it easier to deflect plasma fire with this form, and it shall also guard you against critical strikes by your opponents. Perhaps exile has been good to you indeed. It has certainly not dulled your instincts, nor the speed at which you learn. I shall go to Dantooine, to the ruins of the Enclave. If you gather the others, I will meet you there. And thank you, Exile. You are returning. It is good that you are back among us.
Unnecessary observation. Targets acquired. Annoying recitation. Let us proceed to facilitate communications. Recitation. And bring about the termination of hostilities. Failing, Master.
Yes?
Unnecessary observation. Targets acquired. Annoying recitation. Let us proceed to facilitate communications. Recitation. And bring about the termination of hostilities. You will talk. Defiant statement. There is nothing you can do to me. Do your worst. Agonized exclamation. My photoreceptors! My photoreceptors! Statement. I shall up the charge of your circuits next time. Now, answer the question. Posturing statement. I will never talk. Statement. Then I will have to settle for your screams.
That is one sick
Statement. My prisoner has something of interest. Allow me to share it with you. Statement. The facility that is creating these cruder, unsophisticated versions of me is located on Telos. I propose we go there and turn it into a smoldering crater.
I don't know what the two of you are arguing about. I caught him. He's mine. But it's obvious you two need some advice, so let me lay out the attack pattern for you. It's simple. When you want a man, you jab him with a Bothan stunner, then while he's screaming in pain, slap some stun cuffs on him. Then, starve him for 2 or 3 days until he becomes open to suggestion, then double-check his bounty and see if he's worth anything.
That sounds more like hunting.
Call it what you want. Me, I love my targets.
Ah, HK-47. I did not realize that you still existed, especially now that the other generations are activated.
Query. What is it you wish, Fat One?
I see that your recent reassembly has not affected your behavior core, nor your attitude.
Statement. If I require a similar diagnostic in the future, I shall seek out the Iridonian.
Oh, I do not think so. There is much work that needs to be done first.
Query. Have we had the misfortune to meet before? I believe I would have remembered one as large as you.
Oh, yes, we have met. And I have not finished with you yet.
You know, I think it's time I gave your cutting laser a little boost. It works fine for repairs, but we could use your help in a firefight. Don't worry about it. We'll make sure they keep you out of their scopes. Hey, it's something for Goto to be jealous of, right? Think of it this way. You can keep Goto in line with it.
If I might have a moment.
What is it, Goto?
I have spent some time in the presence of your remote, and the upgrades you have performed on him are quite adequate. I am impressed with your work, though less so with your remote itself.
What's wrong with my remote?
I find his use of resources, energy spent on frivolous things, to be an unsightly waste. But it is obvious you have some skill, however slight, in the upgrading of machines. I want you to provide me with similar upgrades.
I should be able to do something. I will see what I can do next time I have a free moment.
Oh, hey. Can I ask you something? Your face. You have this glow. I mean, not a real glow, but it's like you're calm. At peace, but it's more than that. You haven't been chewing on spice, have you? Oh, well, it shows. It's like you're hooked up to a power coupling. It's weird. I mean, not bad weird, it's just weird. For a minute there, I thought you and Visas, but it's just the Force. You know, hooked up a power coupling, you know? Did you get out much as a Jedi? I was asking if you two had been, you know, intimate. Got it. Just checking. Go ahead and ask. It's all this traveling, being trapped in the ship. Everything's just too quiet. I'd rather be doing something, somewhere with people, activity, some life. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been off planet. Guess I got used to it. Well, Nar Shadda may be one of the biggest cesspits in the galaxy, but it's got a life to it. Activity, aliens, people, refugees. It's like noise, but relaxing. Like the hum of a hyperdrive. Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'll believe it when I see it. No thanks. You can keep your Jedi training to yourself. I already know Nar Shadda better than you ever will. Shoot. Look, before we get into a game of Guess the Pazak card, pull back on the throttle. I don't know you that well to start sharing our life stories. Talk. About what? Why, you tried to be my father? No thanks. Already had one. Somewhere. Are you sure you're a Jedi? That exile of yours must have gone on longer than I thought. Look, you're way too old for me. Even if I were interested, you couldn't handle me anyway. I mean, you're really good in a fight, and you've got those intense eyes. And it's obvious you take care of your body, but I really don't have the luxury of getting attached to you. Besides, you already have your little entourage. I don't want to be a part of the pack, you know? Look, if we start sharing a bunk, the other girls would get upset, and then I'd have to kick the hell out of them to show them who's the pack leader around here. No thanks. You're sweet, old guy. But let's keep it professional. It's more than age. I thought I'd seen a lot, but you look like you're 100 inside. All right. I've killed people before, but not if I don't have to. Oh, do I? Is that it? How you could ever possibly hope to understand is beyond me. Jedi don't have family. I know what happened at Malachor 5, and I know Jedi didn't care about life there. Get away from me. The next time you come and ask me a question, I swear I'll shoot you in the head and dump you out the airlock.
I hear you.
Acknowledgement.
If you've got some time, I'd like to see what I can upgrade for you.
Yes, I do have a few moments to spare for your work. I would like to know what he is doing here, though.
He helps me out with repairs. That isn't a problem, is it?
I suppose not. Perhaps in working on my circuitry, your assistant will learn something about how a fully functional droid is constructed.
Just ignore him and let's get to work.
I would appreciate that. Our group has little in the way of time to spare, and I would not want to delay you from your other duties.
Right. Let's get you open. See what you can do. I have to say, you are put together quite well. That wasn't much to do.
As I told you, my design is streamlined and efficient, though I am pleased that you were able to make some improvements, and this was not just a waste of my valuable time.
There were a few things from my remote that I was able to integrate into your construction.
I see. Well, thank you. I'll let you get back to your work.
What do you want now? Whatever, don't worry about it. It's just a sore subject with me. Yeah, well, they're dead. That's how that story ends. But not everybody's story has to end with losing their family or their loved ones. And not all the bounty hunting I do is for criminals or killers. There's a lot of lost people out there, scattered ever since the Mandalorian Wars. And sometimes, it's like you can almost hear them. Like an echo, calling out for each other. And maybe, just maybe by finding them, I can start putting the galaxy back together. Maybe. We'll see. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. But you're not getting anything else out of me. Go ahead and ask. Hanhar's only a bounty hunter because that's the closest word for what he does. He's not out for credits. It's more vicious than that. And it runs a lot deeper. It's like he's out to make the whole galaxy suffer. Every living thing in it. He wants to break them, ruin them. And when they can't suffer anymore, he wants them dead. I didn't kill him once. Biggest mistake ever. Do you really want to hear this? Well, Hanhar and me go way back, in the worst possible way. He's from some forest planet on the Outer Rim where Zerka had set up one of their slaving operations. I don't remember the name. Something with too many K's and Y's. Sounds like you're gargling Ronto spit when you say it. No idea. He's just Hanhar. I hope there aren't any more like him. I get the impression he's not a good representative of his people, though. He's the equivalent of a mad calf hound among Rontos. Some of Vogga the Hutt's men said Hanhar killed his own tribe, but those two crud thugs lie every time they open their mouths, so who knows? Well, not for long. Once off planet, Hanhar escaped from the Zerka slavers, then killed them all. I don't know. I always thought he just liked using them as weapons. Well, before you get too proud of him, Hanhar figured Zerka had the right idea. I don't think he understood the concept of slavery before, at least on the scale that Zerka practiced it. But now he did. You ever hear of Dursan 3, or the ID cluster colonies? Right, that's because Hanhar happened. He makes what happened to his homeworld look like an exercise in community building. He's not a bounty hunter. He's a slaver. A predator. It's like he's out to enslave or kill every human in the galaxy, like he's trying to settle some huge score or debt. I don't get it, but he's dangerous. Anyone who paid credits. And sometimes he just hunted humans for sport. The ones who survived, he sold to the exchange, to the huts, to anyone who'd buy bodies, living or dead. He and Vogga used to do big credit transactions. That hut really liked the look of unwrinkled humans for some reason. Didn't make him too popular with the other huts, let me tell you. I was prey. And not only did I escape, but I saved his life while doing it. He's been hunting me ever since. I don't pretend to understand it, but among his people, they have these codes of honor. But somewhere along the line, Hanhar's got twisted. His people form these things called life debts. If you save the life of one of them, they pledge themselves to you. Well, with Hanhar, he can't escape that life debt. It's bred into him. But he hates every other living thing in the galaxy, so pledging himself to someone else, especially a human, was unbearable. So when I saved his life, it was the worst thing I could do. It was like slavery all over again. But it was in his head. It was like it pushed him over the edge. A life debt to Hanhar is a death sentence. He'll hunt you until you're dead. When I saved his life, it meant he had to kill me. And so he kept chasing me in hopes I would die. I think the fact I showed him mercy after hating humans for so long, that was something he couldn't stand. Probably. But if he had multiple life debts, especially to humans, Hanhar would probably go mad. He was angry before, sure, but he'd be 10 times worse if that happened. Oh, I'm glad he's gone. It's like a weight off my shoulders. I don't have to keep watching my back every minute, wondering when he's going to show up. And he always did. It's like he always knew where I was. Trust me, if he was still alive, he'd be chasing us even now, waiting to ambush us when we least expect it. And he always shows up at the worst possible time. He was one of the best bounty hunters on Nar Shadda. Hanhar never gives up on his prey. Or his life debts. He's a hunter. He's a natural predator. Well, as happens on Nar Shadda, I made someone mad. Mad enough for them to send Hanhar after me. Turns out they were even able to get him cheap. He'd heard about me and wanted to hunt me down, for sport. He didn't think I'd be much of a challenge. Well, he tried to box me down in vents beneath the Nar Shadda docks, and he'd set one too many proximity mines to cover the escape routes. I think he'd hoped to drive me into the mines and then let them do the work. Or that I'd be too scared to try and walk through them. Thing is, I knew Hanhar's supplier, and the trigger signatures for the mines. It was pretty easy to broadcast a signal to blind their sensor receptors for a minute or two. I figured that would buy me enough time to move through them and get away. No, it isn't. I spent most of my childhood hauling mines and munitions. Got to know my way around them. If I hadn't, I wouldn't be here right now. Like I said, I disarmed the trigger fuses for enough of the mines to get by, temporarily. And Hanhar was pretty fast on my trail. I just made it to safety when he hit the first one. The blast leveled the entire ventilation section, and Hanhar was caught right in the middle, and he survived. Barely. He was crawling around, blinded from the flash and the plasma burns. And it happened so fast. All the blood had been scabbed and crusted from the flash. I had the drop on him, and even blind, he knew it. He could still hear me. My ears were ringing from the blast, but I could hear him. I think he was begging me to let him live. His voice, it wasn't a roar, more like an echo of it. I suppose I should have killed him, but I couldn't do it. He was in pain, and he was helpless. So I dragged him out of there enough to get him to safety, and he kept hunting me ever since. He said he'd pursue me to the edge of the galaxy. No matter where I ran, he would find me and break me, that I would always be prey. Maybe. I've thought about that moment. A lot. Wondered if I would do things differently if I had another chance. Shoot. Yeah, more or less. I wasn't born there, I just ended up there. Well, the war happened. The first one, against the Mandalorians. Had family right up until the end. It's not really a new story, you hear it all over the galaxy. It's what happens after the wars are over that you don't hear much about. I think so. After Revan crushed the Mandalorians, planets throughout the Republic were flooded with refugees. I was just one of the others. Me? I got passage to Nar Shadda. From there, not much you can do, so I became a bounty hunter. Take a guess, Jedi. Only 2 groups of people would have lost family at Malachor. And Jedi don't have families. As much as any slave becomes a Mandalorian. They took prisoners on every world they conquered to bolster their ranks. And they took a lot of worlds. When I was young, yeah. They mostly used me to carry ammo packs and munitions. Toward the end of the war, they needed everyone they could get. They taught me to fight, to hunt, to survive. I was part of their squad, even when I was young. Everyone served as part of the unit, and I felt like I had a place there. After Malachor, it really didn't matter anymore. The Mandalorians lost. Bad. But you know that. Yeah, I know. I saw the worlds they left behind them during the war. That kind of stays with you, I haven't forgotten it. What happened at Malachor, they probably deserved it. Should I be? Maybe I should ask you if you're happy about all the Jedi who died on Malachor 5. Maybe it felt like you lost family there, but I doubt it. Yeah, I know. I saw the worlds they left behind them during the war. That kind of stays with you, I haven't forgotten it. What happened at Malachor, they probably deserved it. All right. I've killed people before, but not if I don't have to. I know, it's different. I don't know why. I don't know. I haven't killed anyone for a long time. But when I'm around you, suddenly it's like I've always been doing it. It's like a reflex. I don't like it. And I don't know when or why it became so easy. Go ahead and ask. Made it. It's custom for me, which is a good thing, because I wouldn't want anyone using it against me. I can show you how to make rockets, though, if you'd like. All it requires is a good skill with demolitions. Anything else you wanted to know? Shoot. It's all this traveling, being trapped in the ship. Everything's just too quiet. I'd rather be doing something, somewhere with people, activity, some life. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been off planet. Guess I got used to it. Well, Nar Shadda may be one of the biggest cesspits in the galaxy, but it's got a life to it. Activity, aliens, people, refugees. It's like noise, but relaxing. Like the hum of a hyperdrive. Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'll believe it when I see it. No thanks. You can keep your Jedi training to yourself. I already know Nar Shadda better than you ever will.
Yes? I fail to understand the problem. I had heard the Coreward systems had customs concerning modesty, but when training, such customs are not practical or efficient. I can see no fault in your reasoning. I do have bulkier clothes. Will this do? They suffice for training purposes. They belong to my mother.
I heard you making friends with the bounty hunter. I don't blame you. She's a scrapper. You don't survive on Nar Shadda for very long if you aren't. I've known people like her, maybe without the rocket launchers, but sort of the same. Maybe without the plunging neckline and the boots. I wouldn't let anything she says bother you. It's a wonder you cracked her attitude at all. She's cold as the ship's hull. Alright, what did you want to know?
Yeah, something wrong? Alright. It's all this traveling. I'd rather be doing something, somewhere with people, activity, some life. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been off planet. Guess I got used to it. Well, Nar Shadda may be one of the biggest cesspits in the galaxy, but it's got a life to it. Activity, aliens, people, refugees. It's like noise, but relaxing. Like the hum of a hyperdrive. Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'll believe it when I see it. No thanks. You can keep your Jedi training to yourself. I already know Nar Shadda better than you ever will.
Yes? Have you come with questions? Very well. What is it that drives you? Very well. Of which did you wish instruction? It allows you to recover your strength with the Force more quickly, and it lends strength to your Force powers. It has no other drawbacks. Such a form is a gift, preferred of the Jedi consulars, and effective in combats where you must fight only through the Force. Very well. What is it that drives you? Ah, I had wondered if... But your powers are strong indeed. There are places in the galaxy, strong in the Force, light, dark. They are born in places teeming with life, and in places that are filled with death. Worlds whose surfaces are graveyards, whose screams echo through the Force. It is possible for war, for men to give birth to such places, to leave wounds on the galaxy itself. What you heard was the echo of the past, and it travels still. The answer will come to you in time. It must, when there is nothing more that you may learn from me. When the ruins of your past have been cleared away and I am no more, then you shall know what it is. And if you do not, then the galaxy shall die, and all my hopes for you will have been for nothing.
For your... I am prepared both in mind and body for your teachings. I understand now. Such a form will increase my skills and my use to you. I do not understand, but the choice is mine whether you permit it or not. I will answer what I can.
Yes, General? Don't worry, I'm a quick learner. Thank you, General. That might prove useful in the future.
Febko emareyam ga watasito insula rakarakachata. Tamaso kinchuda. Donos emaragith. Wanarakorachi drumka sa inchobin sasha. Tosimana rachata. Donos emaragith. Wanarakorachi drumka sa inchobin sasha. Tosimana rachata.
Tu noka herete pachasa borta. Krisocha wentense me punta. Lorcha wata yuma ni. Hodanga yuma des. Dak bota no chi tagwa ita. Jun sobe me rapa. No kuma randisa mak chiksa. Kucha bak tong kinka mata kata. Chopa wanga kun not ka yutka kes. Wamba siso misum kun raka wakta. Nushka wana sochi rona bang mamba kan. Wamba siso misum kun raka wakta. Nushka wana sochi rona bang mamba kan.
Ready?
Ready.
Let's move out.
I shall remain hidden.
Fünnis, Findelansteg, Mekranagua Solomikix, Fimbertha, Nemrakta, Shosefrengamalakta, Alini, Lindrush, the Fast, Banagas, Mekranagua Solomikix, Fimbertha, Nemrakta, Shosefrengamalakta, Abishon, Rangada, Milekradakta Pelakasu.
So, you have the look of a seasoned spacer about you. What backwash you looking for? That's so. Well, you're in luck. I got plenty of it. Costs you 100 credits for a flask big enough for what you need, no more. Alright, guess you weren't as desperate as I thought. 50 credits, no more. Here's the flask. Aged to perfection. Should be just what you need.
Tarachomo sincho cavavolpa muliji gumanarminta barawamba michedos. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita, ta bosananansata. Unta chiwita inka kikraya na chawanga kone. Dovrei kun mwili wosa slima po wanga sawana mucha. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita, ta bosananansata. Dahupa bosa kurata go jujuto yoke. Hiata yamba wajiake yukito tune. Ta come tak playa justing miki gongo beaste. Kun grabi la king no mulara kichi kuta grasa kisha. Que chubo grayo bog no cada itapa titsa tong merinita. Gavadumpa munsuru kupla liyawa. Bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwanji uma. Que chubo grayo bog no cada itapa titsa tong merinita. Tong hitemo si jochia yumba litawa e bawatone ruta. Ta come tak playa justing miki gongo beaste. Kun grabi la king no mulara kichi kuta grasa kisha. Dahupa bosa kurata go jujuto yoke. Hiata yamba wajiake yukito tune.
Wait 1 second. I refuse to participate in this. I'm not dancing for some slobbering overgrown slug. You need me to do this? Can't we find another way? Well, all right. I guess I'll do it.
Muliwrawa iberendia tia Vishnu nunga se. Utati ramata mandrakotu sa minarinkadin.
I don't know why I do these things for you, honestly. Vogga had better watch himself, though, or he'll be the biggest lump of dead slug on Nar Shadda.
Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita tabosanan hansata.
Now what?
Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita tabosanan hansata.
All right, just give it to me and let's get this over with.
Great King no una panca di planito ba manananga. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita tabosanan hansata. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita tabosanan hansata.
Watarito Shulira, Nicho Dankano.
Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita tabosanan hansata. Entomesh mi paju watamimcha yokolondo ado nukulabirawa. Tines un soto.
Kavadumpe masuraku, popayi botenya, tachimurota kamsa, javaskobo sabjo, rigiso karvenokso, mochitosa sagrindeyo. Herinocho, minaradocha, kawanadumpa kankarebe.
Chikarist batkoki. Botmalia lechona jijiska una corda saborako. Bogra kinun chubagrat wikele joni. Wichibola no. Patisaka tunta shok. Una turunkilatria. Ta chom du chong now. Botmalia lechona jijiska una corda saborako. Chupayo bang la bogra turong. Agdi chimait muleranion chuba. Bogra kinun chuba grat wikele joni. Wichibola no. Ulga kili botmalia no wish. Kipecha ona kinni kosenli. Now punek turang wangabola. Chila yon now. Watagritog jimulira. Nicho dankan now. Bogra kinun chubagrat wikele joni. Wichibola no. Ulga kili botmalia no wish. Chichis kabula. Tapicha yubon. Yun bula. Bogra kinun chubagrat wikele joni. Wichibola no. Chichis kabula. Tapicha yubon. Yun bula. Chopiti man ponjame. Sashange bedwana mulera. Chupa wanga kuna konticha. Chona kona sa. Watagritog jimulira. Nicho dankan now. Chichiskap.
You interrupting me for a reason? I have a lot of work to do, to manage here, right? So, what is it?
Shasa achuto gonkura, tawinti malare. Dakaprota gocha, jarkomati sochpan lorcha, yota chisa barinish. Uba volpa holosha, chuba dos ojibicha, krota short na chinomak. Uba volpa holosha, chuba dos ojibicha, krota short na chinomak. Uba volpa holosha, chuba dos ojibicha, krota short na chinomak. Jabalakish, tochimaka, lotologo besanus, misash lochut. No, nananka talani chispo karana yok chalisto chesaje. Dakaprota gocha, jarkomati sochpan lorcha, yotachi sabarinish. Lus jamachor heptoth nich dorsha tochiren kotesh, chot akish besa hek pank pajiji, uba volpa holosha, chuba dosojibicha, krota short nachino mak. Dakaprota gocha, jarkomati sochpan lorcha, yotachi sabarinish. Dakaprota gocha, jarkomati sochpan lorcha, yotachi sabarinish. Jabalakish, tochimaka, lotologo besanus, misash lochut. Jabalakish, tochimaka, lotologo besanus, misash lochut. Teujani na fasa sushovikana inidocha kes, kapa torundi loso chiranani. No, nananka talani chispo karana yokcha listo chesaje.
Josinu poendo rakawa ichi rendu momopa ramakawa. Tonoranga manakan, ipo inshawa. Bo mababe want to susintu mukarata. Tu esfrektonatada ber mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisi meboro.
Yeah, something wrong? Go ahead and ask. It's all this traveling, being trapped in the ship. Everything's just too quiet. I'd rather be doing something, somewhere with people, activity, some life. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been off planet. Guess I got used to it. Well, Nar Shadda may be one of the biggest cesspits in the galaxy, but it's got a life to it, activity. Aliens, people, refugees. It's like noise, but relaxing. Like the hum of a hyperdrive. Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'll believe it when I see it. No thanks. You can keep your Jedi training to yourself. Shoot. I'm good at finding people, so I used it to make credits. Not if you know your target. Usually you get a holo, a rough description, and then you just sort of listen to it, get a feel for him or her, then start walking. And this is a little hard to explain, but Nar Shadda's got a flow, a life to it. You see all kinds of aliens and life there, and it's got currents. You know your target, you can feel them. You know where they're going to go. And sometimes, you know where they're going to be before they do. I'm good at finding people. Because when they're lost or out of place, it's like something's wrong inside them. and that's why I hunt.
Something up? Alright. But I tell you, I think you're carrying this teacher thing too far. Got it. Something up? Alright, I'm game. What did you want to show me? Something up? Alright, I'm game. What did you want to show me? Alright, I think I've got it. I'll try to practice it when I get the chance. Something up? Oh yeah? Alright, let me have it. Alright, I think I've got it. I'll try to practice it when I get the chance. Something up?